Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the return of the Versus podcast. Today we have a very special guest that I know that he has had quite a lot to say in the past. A longtime fan of the show and the website in general. otherZinc, welcome to the show.
How you
Um,
guys doing?
hey, I'm doing pretty great. How about you, Charles?
I'm doing absolutely fantastic, sir.
All right, that's great. So for those who don't know, today's versus is going to be Charles Singletary here versus otherZinc. They have quite a bit of topics they would like to discuss. Before we get started, for those who don't know what the versus is, we basically have people debating on different topics, different arguments. We go by each round, and then we basically see who has what they want to say. If then there's somebody that wants to offer a rebuttal, they can do that as well. We are going to freestyle this a little bit today because this is a special occasion.
I was going to suggest that. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh, no. Yes, we're going to definitely do that. So, Charles, you had a few topics that you wanted to go over. I know you said you took some notes for some topics.
I kind of put down stuff that it seemed like he had a particular gripe with. It was kind of going to let him address those however he saw fit. And by the way, just put this out there. He said it's a special occasion. It's definitely that because like I challenged him today. He accepted today. Everything happened like within the last few hours. So, everything got through together at the last moment. But we here now, though.
Well, my fault. I always come prepared. I'm a college grad, but I didn't take any notes because I'm an industry veteran. So this should come off the top of my head pretty clean. So I didn't write anything. No college professors
Hey, man,
watching me. So
props to you. I can tell that you're a college professor, or not so much that. I can tell that you don't take any notes about the comments that you've been putting down there. So it's all good, man. It's all good. So who wants to start? Should I start with a question, or would you like to make a statement?
Or do you want to start from the beginning of this with Mark Cerny over there announcing a controller? And
let's
February
start from the beginning.
2nd, making up things. What?
Yes. Yeah, we'll start from the beginning.
We could start from the other day with the order coming out. We could go anywhere.
It seems like you have a lot of built-up frustration. Just consider me your therapist. I'm here to help you get through all of that right now. So let's start from the beginning. Go ahead. Just lay back on the couch.
Okay. Well, look, we could start it from. It's not pent-up frustration. Gaming is my hobby, along with athletics. I'm older, but I'd much rather argue about something that absolutely doesn't matter. Since I'm older, people could say, hey, let's you should be into politics. Man, those guys are overrated. Nothing ever gets done. So let's talk about something that you could get some enjoyment out of. Let's go back to Mark Cerny and his bad shirt announcing a console and showing everybody a controller. This game, this is going to be great. It's going to be so powerful. If you go back and you watch that debut, it was a sympathy story apologizing for the PS3. Okay, everybody felt sorry for Sony. Man, I've been playing this game far too long. First of all, they jumped ahead of Microsoft. Some scout they had up in Redmond, Washington, ran back to Sony. It's like, hey man, we got to jump the gun. They're gonna announce something in May. It's gonna be powerful. Let's throw GDDR5 in our console and let's say it's powerful. Nobody will know what we're talking about, and they whispering like this, right? So they come out and they say, hey, GDDR5. People don't understand that, hey, I had my parents, man, bought me a powerful Camaro V8. It was dope. But you know what? There are 4 cylinders that could have whooped that V8. But that V8 sound powerful, right? But a 4 or a straight 6 will kill it. It all depends on how everything is configured, what you're going to get the most out of. Microsoft was ready. They were ready, and they knew they were ready all day. He came out, announced one big component, Everybody fell for it, and now we see things like The Order. We see things like Drive Club. We see things like Infamous. We see things like Knack. We see things like Killzone. Man, I tell you what, I've been playing this game since Pong. People think by the way I comment, they think I'm down and out, I'm frustrated. No. Do you know we used to argue who had the best Pong system, the levers or the ones with the dial? We argued, yeah, back in '76. We argued in Nintendo, we argued in television football and that block vertical screen Atari 2600 garbage football. Terrible. We argued those things all the way up to today. So I've been doing this a long time, and they were talking on the last podcast, don't argue about a game or don't debate a game that you haven't played. Well, we've been seeing.
I'm gonna let you finish. Go ahead.
No, man, go ahead. I'm rambling. Go ahead. We could go.
Just to jump in there, what they said was you can't state certain things as fact when you haven't played the game, is what they were saying.
I agree with that, and I think Rich said that, and I agree with them to an extent. But when that guy posted the whole game, he posted the whole game, and I'm sitting here watching a shootout. Now I'm watching this shootout after watching a long cutscene. I really don't care about that. Okay, but I'm watching this shootout. The enemies look the same. They stand in the middle of your way and reload a weapon. That was terrible.
Question.
And then, yeah.
All right, your criticism of The Order didn't start when that video came out.
Absolutely not. Let me go to the infancy of the debut trailer of The Order. I said, oh man, wow, Gears have some competition. I actually sat up and I was like, oh no, this is going to be incredible. You had 4 unique characters. You had some awesome, like, what's that one game? One of the Sony companies had great weapons.
That would be Insomniac.
Resistance, great weapons. I said, man, these jokers have weapons like Resistance, 4 characters. This is going to be a fantastic co-op style game. That was from that debut trailer that all of us saw. Okay.
So then you drew the conclusion. Wait, hold on. Let's set the stage each time you say that. So you drew the conclusion that it would be co-op from the trailer that you saw.
Well, absolutely. That's the way it portrayed. And a month later, when it came out, it wasn't going to be co-op. I said, "Oh man, come on! You have this great setup, and now you took a component away." And then I said, "Okay, well, we'll see what happens." Then you say there's no multiplayer, okay? And my son is too great, so I'm not into multiplayer anymore. I could watch this kid go 30-1, 30-0. So I realized that my quickness has gone, okay? But give me multiplayer. Then I hear QuickTime events. Now I'm like, damn. Then I hear a cinematic experience. Now I said, okay, this game is going to be garbage. And I called that a long time ago. And sure enough, you come around full circle. This guy shows this game. And I saw what everybody saw it. When you see something like that, now you know. And I tell you something, we could go all the way back to Contra, okay, on the NES. Sure, you could beat the game in a few hours. You could beat the game in a few hours, but if you turn the game over, it keeps on going. It keeps on going. That's one way my cousin and I found out who was the best at Contra. We wound up flipping the game. Hold on 1 second, guys. What's that? No, you could take it in the morning. Okay, go ahead, take it now. That was my son there. Video game master. He's taking over. But anyway, where was I at? Back to Contra. That was co-op way back then. And the way my cousin and I found out who was the best at Contra, We turned that game over 11 times. He died first. Game over. Okay, this is all in one day. You know, but he was over at my parents' house, played all day, you know, and that's the result of it. But now I expect things to be much better. Tony said we expect too much. You got that right. I expect things to be much better. We have these great consoles. I expect, and this is no pun, and this is not a shot at Sony for right now for what I'm about to say. I do expect greatness. Period. I do. I expect games to be better than Gears of War if you look like Gears of War. You said, Charles, that you called Gears of Judgment garbage. It wasn't garbage. It wasn't better than the other 3 Gears of War, which is not a shot at itself. What I was mad about Gears Judgment was they took Horde mode away and gave us some other mode. So I beat the campaign in co-op. It was great. And somebody did a video, Gears Judgment versus the Order. And he brought out something that I didn't see. There were very few enemies on the board. That's not right in 2015. That's not right. They delayed the game, give us more enemies. You say the system is so powerful, give us more enemies. He counted about 12 or 15 enemies on the screen on Gears Judgment, and it was about 4 or 5 enemies on the Order. That's not right. You must give more today. You have to. I won't accept it. I have many games down here. I won't accept that. And one time in the podcast, Tony said something about they don't have campaign co-op games anymore. No, yes they do. Not only do they have campaign co-op games, but they have campaign co-op split screen games. Hey, my son is 15, freshman, 6'3", 200 pounds. I played co-op with this kid since he couldn't even put his hand around that fat Xbox original controller. He knew when to throw a grenade. He knew when to fire. When they brought out that Mad Catz little micron controller, he was able to fit his hands around it. He understood it after a while. It took him 6 months to beat Halo on easy by himself. You know, one day I'm at work. He called and I'm like, hey, Dad, guess what? I beat the first stage. I'm like, really? This went on for about 6 months. This kid beat the game. Okay? Now, you have to give me more than what the Order is giving me, especially for $60. I was listening to a little bit of the Throwdown. Tony was talking about, it shouldn't equate to how many hours, or should they charge more money for games that last 500 hours? Hey, look, I played Mass Effect. I was falling asleep playing Mass Effect. About the 3rd hour, something happened. I was like, damn, that was interesting. I woke up. I wound up playing Mass Effect. I wanted to start it over. I wound up beating it, beat it again. I beat that game 6 straight times before Mass Effect 2 came out. The first time I beat Mass Effect 2, it took me 89 hours. When I went through the Omega 4 relay, everybody lived. Okay? That's how deep I go into a game. $60, 89 hours. Okay?
Be careful what you're saying now.
Oh no, I could dial it back. Let me dial it back some. You could go back to a different game. Let's go back to Rise. People wanted to compare Rise to the Order.
No, they compared it in game length.
In game length.
Very, very different genres.
Rise has a co-op. Rise has a multiplayer. Rise was a launch game.
This is true.
Okay.
But okay, so I have a question. When you have a game, right, you have a short campaign, long campaign, whatever, and that multiplayer or that co-op is added on, does the fact that it's added on just completely outweigh if it's good or bad or not? Because the Rise's multiplayer and co-op were not good.
I can agree with that, but at least they tried to give you something.
So it's like, okay, hey, you tried to give me this, so we'll give you a pass on the rest of the game not being that good. Like you got a 4 or 5 hour campaign, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't
I'm
know.
not, I'm not
I don't
sure.
know if the story. I can't speak on the story of
Yeah,
Rise.
because I didn't beat Rise, but I played Rise when they had when Microsoft came through Chicago. My boy Ramo, he made me go. Actually, he's like, hey man, let's go to this conference. I'm like, hey man, I got something to do. He's like, nope, I'm coming to pick you up. We drove to Chicago. Chicago is only about 40 minutes from us. So we went. I met Major Nelson. Both of us met Major Nelson. Had a conversation with him. He liked our conversation so much, he came back and found us, and we trying to study Dead Rising 3. But I played Rise there. I liked Rise, but I didn't buy Rise. My boy liked it, and we told people, hey man, this is a pretty good game. They liked it. I'm not sure of the length, but I know I like that game. I don't know how the co-op is. I didn't play it. I didn't play the multiplayer. I just know they have it. But from what I played, I thought Rise was pretty good. Okay, not good enough to bet my life on it, where I would tell somebody, hey, you need to get Halo, you need to get Gears, you need to get Forza. It's worth your time. Okay, not in that category, but I did think Rise was a good game, better than The Order. But go ahead.
Okay, now keep in mind that you said it's better than The Order. You've watched The Order. You haven't played it yet.
I did, but what more can you do with The Order, Charles?
You can like finish it. That'd be kind of cool. But
Charles,
I get the criticisms that you're making of The Order are sound. My issue, I said before, was that you were making these criticisms before the game came out, and the way that you approached it, not just The Order, everything Sony related. You have unfounded opinions on those games based on zero evidence.
Okay, hold on.
Wait, no, hold on. Let me finish.
No, I want to stick with The Order because you asked me a question. I want to answer before I forget about it.
Okay, go ahead.
You said my assumptions were incorrect about The Order.
Yes.
And now
you gave me a list. Don't forget that you gave me a list.
I did. I wish I had it in front of me. But the Order, it came off of, honestly, playing games since the 70s. I've played every great game there was to play, whether I had it or not. We had a great block full of kids, man, full of kids. We had everything from that garbage Odyssey to Atari 2600, ColecoVision, Intellivision, Commodore 64, and everything that came after it, till all of us went off to college somewhere, okay? And we continued to play when we were in college. Me just listening to what's going on, I can tell whether a game is going to be good or not. Now, I may throw a prediction. All of us throw predictions out there where, let's say, we'll have my boy Gary Swaby that I should date, that you said.
Yeah, that wasn't me.
I know we tripping.
Yeah, no,
That's cool.
I did
that was you. Yeah, but we were tripping. That's cool. You know, he predicts that Microsoft is going to outsell the PS4. Okay, that's a prediction. My prediction was that The Order, based off of what they've said, and based off of the games that came before it, that game wasn't going to be that hot. And as soon as they said it was not going to be
based off now Santa Monica,
based off of my experience, and based off of the things that I've seen, and based off of my experiences, not off of Santa Monica, because if you throw God of War in there, now you're throwing in a game,
okay,
a respected game. So not based. I mean, the PS4 hasn't shown us God of War, you know. And some of my friends don't think Uncharted, that demo, was that good. I thought it was actually okay. You know, it showed a lot more things going on. There were some enemies out there, but let's see how far that'll go through an entire, let's say, 15-stage game, or an entire 10 or 12-hour game, or what have you. But those were my assumptions. It's easy to be an armchair quarterback after the fact, but if you can predict it before the fact, now I'll take a bullet. If I'm wrong in my prediction, hey, I was wrong. But
yeah,
you know,
we can all do that. But I have a question though. Just like I asked Gary, and apparently I talked over him the whole show, so he didn't get a chance to answer.
You did.
Yeah, I totally did that. I asked him. He never had an answer. what his prediction was founded upon. I kept asking, what happened to make you think that Microsoft is going to beat him? Never got an answer. Now, I'm not asking
Here's
you that
his
same
answer.
question.
I know what his answer was.
Let me finish. Let me finish.
Okay.
I'm not asking you that same question. The order, what was like the predictions that you made? Because one of them, you said length, which I don't know if that was a mistake that you put that in there, because you said that you gauged the length of the game from the trailer. Your words.
I gauged the length of the game from the trailer. No.
No. I can go straight to the comment if you
Go
want.
to
Go ahead,
the
say
comment.
what you want.
Yeah.
Say what you want real quick.
Yeah, I don't think I said that, but from the length of what they said from the guy's trophy count, he said the game was 5 hours, and then they said, well, it doesn't start tracking until you get your first trophy. Well, if you even give him an hour, okay, if you give him an hour and a half, it's still 6.5 hours, and when you have a linear game at 6.5 hours. You have a linear game at 6.5 hours with QTEs. You can't branch off. The stages aren't big. You're down the hallway. So what more can you venture off and do?
So now it's being criticized for not being like an open world, or are you just complaining about the particular level design in that game?
I don't like to get into level design. You could say Gears of War is a one-path game, but you could go off on different paths. There are things to do. There are different enemies, and it's a lot going on within the arena, okay? But everything I saw from this game, it was hallway activity.
Mm-hmm.
And the last one I saw was a little bit bigger. I don't know what they were on. I was just watching how the enemies were acting and how they were shooting and how they were shooting at the enemies. And then it jumps into a cutscene. I hate it when games take the control out of my hand. I can't stand it. Okay. And you brought up Ninja Gaiden. I almost had a heart attack. Okay.
But you completely missed the sarcasm in that entire comment.
If I did, my bad. But hey, that's a game that I will keep my 360 to the day I die for, because I will always go back and pull that game out.
It may catch you as a surprise, but I'm a big fan of Ninja Gaiden 2. The comments basically, so you said something about campaign co-op, and so I can give everybody context that's listening to the show. He said something about that, and I responded with comments like, why doesn't Ninja Gaiden have campaign co-op? Right. Why doesn't this game? Why doesn't that game? Right. The point that I was making was campaign co-op is not a defining feature for any genre. It's not something that you have to be a good game. And to touch back on what you started with, you developed an assumption based off of a trailer at E3 that it was going to have 4-player co-op just because there happened to be 4 people with guns on the screen. And then you became disappointed by the fact that that wasn't there. Now,
hey, Charles, I wasn't disappointed. I was very disappointed.
Okay, I'm sorry. You were very disappointed.
I want to stress how and I wasn't the only one. The forums, actually, I'm not sure. I don't want to pub up any other site unless it was your affiliated site. No, man, forget those jokers because I really don't like them. But anyway, they actually brought it up, and then the developer said, "No, this isn't campaign co-op."
Yeah, because it'd be one thing, just flat out, and regardless of how many people got behind the saying, it'd be one thing if they said, "Hey, this is gonna be campaign co-op." It'd be another thing if they showed gameplay with a campaign co-op or something like that. But y'all took a trailer, you and whoever else posted it, whatever site.
A lot of us.
A lot of y'all, man. That makes it worse. I don't know if you think that's. Let me finish though. A lot of y'all made an assumption on the game. You were wrong, and then your reception of that game started to falter from that point on. Built on an assumption.
Now it just started. That wasn't the only thing.
No. Nobody said it was the only thing. But
but it kept building.
That way of thinking.
Here's true. Now here's when a precedent has been set in a particular genre. Let's say.
No, wait.
I'm staying on the path.
What you about to say? Because I know where you're going with this.
Where am I going?
You're about to say that a standard's been set in a particular genre with things that involve like campaign co-op and all that stuff.
Absolutely. Now here, let me say this, Charles.
Okay.
when the automobile was first invented, nobody had windshield wiper blades. Okay? But when a precedent has been set, you're going to have windshield wiper blades. You're going to have a top on your car instead of that Model T. You're going to have top on that car. You're going to have heat in that car. You're going to have air conditioning. You're going to have four-wheel drive. You're going to have all-wheel drive. You keep setting that bar higher and higher and higher. Okay? Now, they had, and here's what capped it off. Okay? I'm going to fast forward past my early disappointments because they did not have campaign co-op from the outset. And that was probably only maybe 20% of my disappointment. Okay? But let's fast forward this all the way to this week.
Can I ask a question real quick, though?
Sure.
All right, well, first, make a statement. I will say that was a very poor analogy to make, number one, because you're talking about all four-wheel, you're talking about all four-wheel drive cars, right?
No. I went from something as simple as windshield wiper blades to air conditioning to heat. Those are all components. And then, just like they had with the new, at the auto show, Ford made this Mustang. They made it straight for racing. It don't even have air conditioning in it. They wanted to make this car light as possible so it could be blast off fast. Okay? But this car is a beast, and it's for racing. Okay? But if you're just a general consumer and you're going to buy this car for your kid, then that thing is going to have air conditioning. A precedent has been set.
You're speaking of a precedent
has been set. But I'm going into what I'm saying. Gears and other games before Gears set a precedence for co-op. Here, I want to say this, and this will sum up. This is a summation of my disappointment of what they really wanted to do. Okay, he can't hide this. One of the main developers, and I'm going to find this article and I'll put it in the comments later, but he said that their cover system was better than Gears. Now you're directly comparing yourself to Gears of War.
Their cover system.
But you know something? You better shut your mouth, because you're going to be compared to the whole game, Mr. Captain of the developers team.
Because it's the same people that made the assumption about 4 people in a trailer being part of a campaign.
Whether you want to play semantics or not.
No, that's not semantics. This is like directly involved in what you just said.
It's a third-person shooter.
Okay, so wait, frame it up right there. So you're saying all third-person shooters have to go by this formula, and that if they don't have this element, that they're missing it, right?
Here, let's check this out. Let's say this, and I want people to hear exactly what I'm saying.
They hear it.
Uncharted is a third-person shooter.
Yes, it is.
Uncharted does not have co-op.
No, it doesn't.
Though a lot of times someone is rolling with you.
No, wait. Are you talking about the first Uncharted or the second?
Pick one. Uncharted 2, Uncharted 3.
Go with the first one for your argument's sake, because you're wrong. The second and third have a co-op.
Okay, well, I beat all 3 Uncharted games. Okay, I beat all 3 of those. All right? But let's say this. I don't really mind. And of course, it's not up to me. It's not otherZinc's opinion. That is fact. But I don't mind that third-person shooter not having a co-op. Okay? Because it's really all about Drake. Okay? So I really don't mind that. Okay? But when you come and you show 4 characters and you guys are conspiring against and you're rolling through a game and it's always someone there. You brought out in the comment that The Last of Us always have somebody with them, and I said I agree with you on that one. I answered every line you had.
And that was definitely sarcasm for clarification.
Okay. Well, clarification's sake. I felt it should be campaign co-op because to me, it's almost the same character as Drake. Okay?
Wait, Ellie?
The guy. He's almost the same as Nathan Drake.
Okay.
You know, man, except for they're in a post-apocalyptic world with some crazy-ass people on it. You know? But every game don't have to be campaign co-op. But when you come like they had, and then you come and everything is so short. You better give the consumer something else for $60. Look, if that game came out at $30, nobody say a word. I know I wouldn't. I wouldn't say anything. I'd just keep it moving. But here's what I don't want. Just like everyone bashed Microsoft for their DRM features, which seemed to me would have turned out to be pretty good at this point, but they changed everything because everyone complained. Here's what I don't want. I do not ever want Microsoft or my games that I've been playing that I'm looking forward to go down and say, wow, man, everybody bought the order. Everybody loved the order. The reviewers loved the order. We got away with us. Let's give them 7 hours. We got away with a 7-hour game with no horde mode, no campaign co-op, no multiplayer, and stupid AI. No. I've been playing too long. I like to play. This is what I'd rather do than going to some bar drinking with some clown that I don't know. Okay? I'd rather stay at home and play some games for my enjoyment, or go watch a high school game or something like that. Don't come in here ruining my stuff with some mediocre game. That's a mediocre game. That's mediocre at its best. Okay? So no, and for him to mention Gears of War, you just opened up a terrible can of worms. But I knew where he was going when I saw the way that game looked. That's terrible, man. And then you have this what do they call them? I keep forgetting what they call the guys that transform from a human to that werewolf or whatever it is.
Tony could answer that. Tony, what are they called?
Lichens?
Lichens. Okay. Hey, man. Hey, Tony, glad to hear you on the show.
Yeah, I've been here for like 20 minutes, and I got some shit to say, but I'll let you finish.
Yeah, well, I've been rambling. I said enough, but we could keep on going though. But chime in.
I would like to respond.
Absolutely.
I tried to remember everything that I wanted to respond to. Okay, I might miss some things, but I know I'll get back to it. First,
we'll get back to it.
I'll finish that analogy. You were comparing a mechanical process and things put on top of that to a creative entertainment. Like that was a poor analogy to make. I think you could.
But what did they create, Charles? What in the world did they create? What did they create in the order? Okay. What do you see? What is the creation of the Order 18? What did they do?
Can I answer now?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Cool. So back to what I was saying. So you did that. That was a poor analogy to make. We're gonna get to the order.
I disagree.
I understand because you made the analogy. I would assume that you would disagree. So the order, right? My issue was with your stuff that you said before the game. Now, we can talk about the game now that people have played it and we've seen it and everything. I haven't played it personally. Tony has, so he'll have more to say about that. Whether you agree with him or not, I have a pretty strong idea that you're not going to agree with what he has to say about it.
Well, I'm going to play the game also this week myself.
Okay. Because the point I was making with like the order, we can be rational about a game once it comes out, and we'll be honest about the game, no matter what the issue is and no matter what console it is on. My issue I had with you, and what I always have an issue with, is your unfounded statements when it comes to Sony systems and how you blindly defend the Microsoft games. Now let's go all the way to the beginning. Now we're using your examples. Mark Cerny stepped on stage with a console and a controller. Right?
No, not with the console. He announced the console, showing the world a controller.
Okay. I don't understand what the problem was with that.
Here's what my problem was with that. My problem was they were flying off the seat of their friggin' pants. Okay?
And a new console.
What console? We didn't see a console. What console did you see?
All right, so you said we're not going to do the whole semantics dance. They announced a console. Like, they could have showed up with nothing.
No. Charles, when has that ever happened? When have someone announced a console and didn't show it? I think the
Nintendo with the
first
Wii
one
U.
was the Wii U. They didn't show it, and actually they did show it. If you look way back there, they had that Wii U back there. It was
Okay.
there.
So,
They just
all
didn't.
right.
But the
So,
main
question.
feature was
I have a
this
question.
massive iPad that they had as a controller.
Mhm.
But that Wii U was in the background. But but we see what a Wii U is right now. Okay.
So what you need is to have the visual of the console, is what you're telling me, because
Charles, there's been a
let me
precedent set.
finish. Let me finish. I've let you talk this whole time. So when I want to get a statement out, please let me finish. Okay. So what you need is a visual for the console to be there. Never mind the fact that when these consoles get announced and these games are shown, they're not even being played on that console early in that cycle when the console is not out. They're being played on PC with settings that resemble the console. But that doesn't matter, right? You just have to see the box.
You want me to answer that?
Sure.
Okay, like I said, there's been a precedence that has been set. Everyone knows, except for Hip Hop Gamer, which is my guy until he made that damn statement he made.
Yeah, he lost me.
Okay, thank you. Now, everyone knows a PC is it. There's nothing more powerful than a PC. Games are made on a PC, period. We all know that. That's why, one of the reasons, that's what I said. If you don't believe me, I just said that about Uncharted. We'll see how they stretch that stage that they had out through an entire 15-stage process of a game. Because you're going to lose RAM throughout the course of that game. You just can't put it all on that game.
Save your Uncharted
let me finish.
I want to address that one later.
But I'm answering your question here of visuals and how the PC is what things are being played from. We all know it's coming from a PC. Okay, you're not making games here. Xbox, stop listening. You're not making games on the console is coming from the PC. So that's how we get these downgrades. That's how we get Killzone E305. Okay, nothing looks that good to this day, and I knew that was not a game, but everything comes from the PC. So of course, it's going to be better at E3. That I didn't start getting on people until they said Forza was downgraded. Everything at E3 is downgraded because it's shown in its most powerful form. Everything at E3 is a demo that is made up from a dope team working on a show for 2 or 3 minutes. It takes them about 6 months. So you have your best team working to impress people at a show. Now we're not going to get that. Now we're going to get what you're going to get when the game releases, because no one wants that downgrade status. That's why when I put things, sometimes in my comments I'll put downgrade in a quote, because that's what Sony fans did to Forza 5, a launch game that is still our only 1080p 60 frame per second exclusive running today. That's AAA, period. It's the only one. No other game comes
close. The only one that runs on Microsoft?
No, hey, Charles, on Sony 2, and it's locked at 60. It never gets one.
You realize that 4 games on the Wii U run 1080p 60
Oh, man,
frames
come
per
on. Now, we're going to talk about the Wii U.
If you're going to say this is the only game,
if you're going to talk about the Wii U,
right.
Charles, I don't have nothing to say about it.
Okay, let's take it out of...
Because you know what's here? Let me say this one. Here's my only comment. Here's my only comment about the Wii.
Go ahead.
Here's my only comment. I will not comment on the Wii, because if it weren't for my money and my boys' money and my cousins' money and my friends' money, if it weren't for their money putting quarters in Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr. at Miller Village, Nintendo wouldn't have enough money to survive today. We built Nintendo, okay? Just me and my group, all the money that we spent of our mothers and fathers, okay? But today, Nintendo, man, they below my grade. They below my kids' grade. It's, and I don't want to bash Nintendo, because Nintendo kind of saved the industry when ColecoVision came and messed everything up, and games like E.T. ruined the industry, okay? And I had E.T., by the way. But, you know, no, man, we talking about the PlayStation and the Xbox. I built Nintendo. All of my money went to them.
All right, so let's take them out. All right, now I want to point out something.
Get them out of here.
All right. A lot of your argument, yours, Gary's as well. But you know what? I'm not going to address Gary because Gary's not here, and he will be around tomorrow.
I'll address Gary. I'll defend Gary. So I'll speak for Gary.
We're going to let you. You got a lot of work ahead of you to handle for yourself. So we're going to get to that right now.
All right, let's go.
A lot of y'all's arguments are like, hey, this blank fact, but only if you don't count this, or don't count this, or don't count this. Example. Forza is the only game 1080p 60 frames per second if you don't count baseball, because MLB The Show is 1080p 60 frames per second. Now, if you don't have an interest in that game yourself, then that's a whole nother conversation that we're having. Okay, so, because it is a AAA title. The fact that they have an exclusive sports game is a big deal, but that's not even part of the conversation. You said that the only 1080p 60 frames per second game is The Show. Now, you responded that it is a port. I don't think you understand what a port is when it comes to moving a game from
Wasn't that game on the PS3?
Yeah. Just because it's on there doesn't make it a port. Do you know what port is?
Let me tell you something. Look, Charles. You need to play that game, and you need to play last year's game, and you need to play it versus the PS3, and tell me what the difference is. Now,
have you looked?
Yeah, I looked at it, but hey, Charles, you know something? You could shine up silver, okay? If it's dirty as silver, you could shine it up, and it's still silver. Okay?
You realize you're comparing a racing game that's very similar to not changing much, like a baseball game.
Well, see, that, right? Hey, but you know, no, what you don't realize is you did not play Forza. I'm gonna tell you something. When you going,
where did you get that fact from?
Well, hey, you know what your achievements look like in Forza?
Not very good.
Okay, now I'll tell you what, mine are off the charts. Okay,
that's good.
I've been playing that game for over a year. I'm almost done. Now I'm gonna tell you something, Charles. When you playing, they gave us Indy cards. When you're racing in this thing and you're going down to Indianapolis 500, and you're 4 wide, and you pan that camera to the side, and this game doesn't flicker, doesn't shake, and you're going 200 miles an hour down a straightaway, and you're 4 wide, that wasn't being done on Forza 4, and that's a great game. But what happened was, what I was disappointed about Forza was, and the only reason I would not have given that game a 10, it didn't have the features of Forza 4.
Hold on. Don't go off on a tangent, because we're not getting into critical. I never said Forza was a bad game, so we're not getting off on a tangent on that. The statement was what? 1080p 60 frames per second.
And it hit it.
I'm sorry that I don't have like a baseball player that can run at 200 miles per hour, so you can turn the screen and see
I'll give that to you. You know, if you want to take that, but that's a port. Forza 5 was not on a 360.
Port. It's not a port.
Who said it wasn't a port? It's the exact same game is on the PS3.
Do you know
the
what
exact same game?
Let's get the rest of the people that are in the video here. Are you guys aware of what a port is?
I'm aware of what a port is, Charles.
Clearly you don't.
No, clearly I do. It's the exact same game that's on the PS3, Charles.
As in, like there's no development changes. It's just moving over from this to that. There's no visual change. There's no animation changes. That's what a port is.
No. I'm willing to bet there are no changes in the animation. There are none. It's the same game. Same options.
I can link you right now.
Well, they need to show me something, because from every report,
you ain't looking because it's on Sony.
Hey, Charles. Every single report from that game, it didn't get good reviews because it's the same game as last year. We could see what's going to happen this year if they're going to make a better game, but the game wasn't even good. And this is from people that really like that game.
Reviews again?
The baseball
are you talking
game
about the show?
Did not get the one from last year. The show.
It doesn't have.
But hey, you know what? Hey, Charles, you know what? Here's where
275?
I'm going to give you something. I did not play the show, so whatever you say, I'll give it to you. Okay? So I did not play the show.
That right there,
All I
what you
know is that
what-
the show is not. I didn't. Well, I didn't play enough of that game, but it's on the same machine. I didn't play enough of it, but it's on the same machine. It's on 2 different machines, but I didn't play. I'll give you the show. I'll give it to you. You can have it. You can have it. Why is Drive Club not 1080p 60, Charles?
Doing right because they couldn't manage it.
No, I'll
Did they make
give
it a
it
bad
to you
game?
because I don't know enough about it. No, I don't. What's that?
Well, I answered the question.
Did
So
you
they
say
couldn't manage.
Drive Club is not a bad game? You said they couldn't manage Drive Club? Okay, well then
They
we don't
couldn't
have
for second
nothing to
Drive
argue
Club.
about or nothing to debate on. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Then I don't have to tell you exactly how bad Drive Club is. So okay, go ahead.
All right. So first, talking about wrong. Now, you didn't have the facts.
Hold on. Wait. No, because you told me I said I was wrong. Hey, Charles, I didn't have to look. I don't have to tell you that I didn't play enough of it. I played it. I didn't play enough of it. Hey, Charles, common sense common sense and longevity. No, well, you could rewind this tape. Common sense. I told you about Shining Silver. If you put something from a port from a PS3 game, if you put something from that on a more powerful system, it's going to give you a little better shine, Charles. Just like the Order, it's just going to give you a better shine.
Telling me is
that game is no damn different. It's going to give you a better shine, Charles.
That's semantics.
So, hey, Charles,
you're
playing semantics, and you're talking about a game that is on another game. I'm talking. Right. You're talking about baseball. You're not tripping me up playing some damn semantics, okay?
You asked me a question.
Charles, that's not exclusive to the PS3. That game is on the PS3.
So now that it's not exclusive on the same console.
A next gen exclusive, Charles. I said that in my comments. You like to study my comments. I say that clearly all the time. A AAA next generation exclusive to the PS4. I say it all the time, Charles. I say it all of the time.
So
all the time. Go look at any comment that I had pertaining to you, Charles. You're talking about a baseball game, and it's on the same game is on the PS3, Charles. What about a game that's not on a PS3? Let's say Drive Club. Let's say Infamous. Let's say The Order. Mm-hmm. I'll give you a brand new 2015 game, Charles. 2015. This game is 800p, 30 frames per second. Come on, man.
Which is not new news at all.
But Charles, didn't Sony say get used to 1080p 60 frames per second? Didn't they say that?
Yeah.
So what's up with that?
Okay, cool. Own it. They said it. It didn't happen. It's not happening yet, at least. And we don't know if it's
waiting on greatness.
No.
We're not waiting on greatness.
They did that. Okay. All right. I'm gonna frame this all up to you, and then I'll ask if you can answer. Okay. So they said that, right? It hasn't happened yet. So we can operate reviewing the games as they are, right? So, Xbox made their announcements about their stuff, did a completely 180. We have moved on from that now, right? I'm not looking at all of their games that they have coming out now, like, why isn't this digital only, and why aren't we getting shared servers with every multiplayer? I'm not bitching and moaning about that stuff. They don't have it. We can move on to it.
What are you talking about?
The
shared
Order
service. What are you talking about?
Oh, you didn't watch the
No,
Microsoft
I'm listening. I'm listening to you go from games to service.
I'm sorry, I didn't. Wait, you started off with RAM from day one.
Well, hey, because that's what our engine is powered on. So Sony wants us to believe. I say it's a combination of the components that work in conjunction with one another. You just can't go throwing things at something and expect, oh well, this is going to be great because I have this V8 engine in it. I tell you what, Charles, you know something? That Mustang that they showed, I'm going back to a car analogy, that Mustang that they showed at the Detroit Auto Show had a super powerful V8 engine in it. That Ford GT that they showed had a V6.
And I could care less. Can we stay on topic?
But here's my, we're on topic, Charles. That V6 will blow that V8 away. Okay, now let's go back to this GDDR5 since you wanted to bring that back up, Charles. Okay, they ran their mouth, oh, this is better than GDDR3 or whatever that garbage is Microsoft had. But see, the components within that engine that make that game work seamlessly, that's where you get your power from, Charles. These jokers told us an outright lie. Get ready for 1080p 60. I listen to podcast after podcast after podcast. Why would you want to buy that? Why are you paying $500 for an underpowered system? Why are you doing that? Why are you paying $500 and the system isn't even as powerful? The $400. I listen to people all day. I took an ass whooping. Nobody wanted to believe me. I took a beating from people, and I said, man, Sony is lying. I said, let's see. And hey, Charles, you know what? No, I'll let you go ahead because I don't want to say I've been talking to. And I want to hear Tony Polanco. I hope he didn't leave.
Shit, Charles didn't even get the answer. We got to wait for Charles to get answers in before Tony jump in.
All right, Charles. Let me know when I can go because I got a lot. I'm afraid to move because everything is working fine. I need to go upstairs and get a drink.
Okay, so like I was saying about the criticisms for Sony don't match up with the criticisms with Microsoft is what I was getting at.
Okay. Let me know when I can answer you on this.
Did every multiplayer game when it came out, were you just sitting there just brooding because you didn't have cloud servers for your multiplayer?
There you go. I'm glad you said that. Now, here you go. This is one of the reasons that I'm pissed at my all-time favorite show before the co-op, because the Koalition continues to bring up the topics no matter what. Okay?
Like, what do you mean?
The garbage war zone. Okay? Some of those guys don't even know that the cloud work including you, but at least you talking about it. Hey, Charles, let me tell you something, man.
Are cloud servers on every game including third person? Is that what you're telling me right now?
Hey, Charles, listen.
The answer is no.
It's up. Hold on, Charles. It's just like Phil Spencer said. It's up to developers to take advantage of what we have to offer.
But does that not apply to Sony as well?
It applies to all of their exclusives. That's why I love to talk about exclusives, because your exclusives exploit your system. Your exclusives are where you show your strength. Exclusives are where, hey, you know what? My kids are great. Love them to death. But I trust those jokers because they know if they don't do what I say, they're going to die. Okay? But someone else, if I'm coaching a team, hey, they respect me too. They do what I tell them, but hey, it's a slight chance they may not do what I say. All right? So when you have your system and you have third parties working games on your system, and they don't do their homework, and they go get a bad grade on the test. Okay? Forza is a Microsoft property. They did their work. They use cloud in their game. I can't help it that others won't do the same. And I told my boy this. When all of these things came out, I said, everyone is talking about, I can't do 1080p on the Microsoft console. I can't do it, I can't do it, I can't do it. I can't run 60 frames per second. But the PlayStation is so powerful, we're going to be able to do this with ease. Hey, I told my boy this. I said, it's going to be Forza, it's going to be Halo that is going to embarrass multi-plat developers. Now I want you to bank me right here. Charles, since you like taking notes so much, you write this day down. Okay, this is around the February where 2 years ago, Mark Cerny went up there lying with that ugly plaid shirt. Okay, you bank this. Halo 5 is going to embarrass every multi-plat shooter out there. It's going to be 1080p. It's going to be 60 frames per second. It's going to run campaign co-op, not side mission co-op. It's not going to be linear with a bunch of movies to push you through it. You play your game the way you want to play it. Okay?
Okay. I will. All right. So can I
You
talk?
bank that.
Can I talk real quick?
Sure, and let me know when I can answer you. And we got to get Tony in here.
I ain't really let you know the last couple times. You just went ahead and took your little time on those. But let's go ahead and.
Well, my bad.
Because we went way overboard, and you got away from the show and the Forza one. I'll let you get away with that one.
We got to stop talking about the show, man, because you know.
But you can keep talking about.
And as much as I like baseball, man, I hope my kid make the baseball team. That's his best sport, man. Hey, look, I love baseball, but let's go. Go ahead.
So if I tell you right now, from this point on in the conversation, I won't mention the show if you won't mention Forza anymore.
Nope, because that's two different things. We still got a lot of racing to talk about.
Oh, we're going to get to that.
We have a lot of racing to talk about.
We're going to get to it.
So no, Forza, you can't make stipulations like that, like you tried to do to my boy Gary Swaby. Gary is here. He's here in spirit.
Gary made his own stipulations.
No,
people can listen to the show.
Let's go.
It's audio.
We all heard it.
It's like the post's still on the website. We didn't delete the show after the show was over.
We all
you can
heard
go listen to it. We all heard it. We all heard Charles ask him. So what's the rules, Gary?
Let's go.
Okay. So all right, we won't switch it up. You got your Forza. You got your one racing game. You got your Halo that you're comparing to the Order.
No, I didn't compare Halo to the Order.
That's exactly what you just did. You said it didn't have campaign.
No. I said Halo is going to be up to Halo and Forza to embarrass multi-plats. The Order is not a multi-plat. That's what I said.
So what was the point of saying that?
The point in me saying that is it's going to be 1080p 60 frames per second. So when somebody open their damn mouth and say, oh, Call of Duty or what's the EA game, Battlefield is not, oh, we couldn't reach 1080p on the Xbox One, you a lie. Well, here it is, and hey, it's harder to run a game in campaign co-op.
Okay, so are you even arguing with me right now? Or
no, but I just threw that out there as a bonus for you. But it was to say that Forza is going to embarrass any racing game made, and Halo is going to technically embarrass any shooter made that's multi-platform, period. Okay? You exclusives drive your console. Exclusives show what your console can do. It exploits it because you have your team digging up, making the best they can make from their particular console. That's what I said. I would never mention Halo in the same breath as the Order. Come on, man. No, Halo is above grade to their that. The Order is a throwback game from the 50s. And they didn't even make games then. I wasn't even born then. That's how I feel about the Order. The Order is garbage. That should be free to play. The Order is the most expensive indie game out there. I bet 2 people made that game. Now I'm tripping. So let me get off of that. I'm tripping. I was tripping.
I'm just going to disregard.
I can't stand that one.
We gather that. We gather that you cannot stand the Order. Okay?
No, I can't. No, that's a fraud game. But let's go ahead. What else you got? What else you got, Charles? What you got in your notes?
Wait, I haven't even looked at the notes yet.
Because get to your notes, Charles. Let's go, man.
I'm trying to decipher what the hell you're talking about now.
No, I just wanted to clear up what I was saying. I was never comparing Halo to the Order. That would be suicide for the Order. I was just making sure you knew that I was talking about. I told one of my boys before the consoles even came out that Halo and Forza were going to embarrass multi-plat games. Because everybody
Okay,
was,
that's
all
cool.
these devs were talking that. I just threw that out there as a bonus. So you make sure you put that in your notes, and we'll address this
There's you
again
you
back
do
in
realize
December.
you do realize, all right, so as far as putting stuff in my notes and comparing the exclusives to multi-platforms, last time I checked, probably the last 4 or 5 shows of the co-op, we have been taking a shit on third-party developers, especially like Ubisoft and all that. Like we don't hold any.
I agree.
Okay, we don't hold any weight into that and the whole we can't develop that. So you're not arguing with me. You're not arguing with
But
us.
Charles, hold on, man. Now you do a podcast. I don't know if you listen to podcasts or not, but I know you heard all of the podcasts and all of the articles that were written that multi-plat developers were saying that the Xbox can't achieve 1080p 60.
And then what happened right after that? Their games didn't reach it on PlayStation.
That's right. But they could always reach 1080p. It was some reason they could reach 1080p, okay? And the reason they could reach 1080p is because the PlayStation is better at a direct port from the PS3 and the Xbox 360 game. That's why Xbox stopped listening. Let me turn this thing off. All right, go ahead.
Okay. All right. So.
Hey, Charles, let me throw this one thing in here real quick, man. You remember when everybody was saying that the Kinect didn't work? And then, and you say Xbox, and then everybody's TV started going crazy? I knew that was a joke. But anyway, go ahead, man.
What are you talking about?
It's just a bunch of little bitty things, but we'll get into that maybe.
Okay, cool.
We get Tony Polanco in here. Okay, where's Tony at, man? Hurry up and get some of your questions.
Charles ain't got to talk. Can Charles talk?
Come on, Charles. Let's go, man.
Okay. So every single gripe that we have heard from you so far, every last one of them, you shot down the Order. Let's go. I haven't played it, but let's go with it and say, hey, the Order is a disappointing game. All right? It's a disappointing game. Length, the story didn't justify. This is just from everybody else's perspective. The story didn't justify the length of the game. It doesn't have campaign co-op. Me and you are never going to agree on that because campaign co-op doesn't define or break a game no matter what.
We could skip over that. We'll come to it later, but it didn't have a lot of things. Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm addressing that. So the Order is a disappointing game. Trash it, recycle bin, delete it, don't buy it, whatever, right? So that's one game. That's one game. Another game you tend to like to bring up is Drive Club. And Tony and Rich know that I can speak pretty good to Drive Club. I've had to in the past when people were getting a little comments on. I don't even remember if it was you. I think it was a couple guys like Steph as well. So Drive Club's not 1080p 60 frames per second. That was acknowledged way back. We got to that point. That's cool.
It was acknowledged way back when. When was it acknowledged that it didn't do 1080p 60?
Like 2-3 months before the game came out.
Okay. I got something to say about that. But go ahead. I want you to finish.
Okay. I mean, if you want to get to the point, like 6 months before that point, they wanted to get to that point, and they said that they couldn't. Is that what you wanted to bring up? Because I already said that earlier in the show. So they couldn't get to that point.
That's not what I wanted to bring up, but go ahead. I'll talk when you finish.
All right. So Drive Club comes out. It has the online issues, and then those online issues get fixed, and then the game is good. Because all I've heard is Drive Club is bad from everybody's mouth, specifically people that haven't played it, that were saying that the game was bad. They were saying that the online didn't work when it did because they didn't know and they didn't play it. Actually, I'm not going to say that just like, because that's going to start you on a whole nother tangent. But say what
you got to say, Charles, because man, you get new listeners every 20 seconds on the radio, probably every 20 minutes on the show. Go ahead and say it.
But it plays back. They can listen to it later on, just like everybody else. But so you judge Drive Club has a bad launch. It's like it has a bad launch, and that's fucking Christmas for the micro stands out there. Then the game works, and then it doesn't matter anymore.
Hey Charles, you know what? You want me to
finish? Dog, please let me finish. Okay. So the game works. And then it outsells a game that y'all said that they shouldn't have put it up against. Even though Forza Horizon don't quite count, but we're gonna act like the pedigree of a game doesn't matter across the board, right? So it outsells a lot of projections. It does well. The game is good, but Drive Club don't count because it's not 60 frames per second. Now I'm asking you that question.
What question are you asking me? Why did it outsell?
Why does it not count? No. Not why did it outsell. You can't answer that. Why does it not count because it wasn't 60 frames per second? Like, y'all have the criticism, and it doesn't matter if somebody's going to argue.
Wait, why does it not count that it's 60 frames per second?
That it's not. Like, why does it not count that it's not?
What's your question?
Because, okay, one of your arguments consistently is that, the exclusives are lacking on the console. We bring up exclusives, and then they're discounted for every which way, whatever reason. Like, Drive Club's launch don't count because of the online not working, even though the game works fine now.
Man, look, I count everything.
I'm gonna finish.
Leave MLB out of this. You asked me.
No. You said I couldn't take Forza away. I'm gonna keep it in.
Keep it in.
And I'm gonna say the reason why you said it don't count. MLB don't count because they developed it for the PS3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know why, like Infamous and stuff like that, hadn't been mentioned. I know people discount Killzone, even though the ratings are higher for that one. What else? So, I mean, you count Halo. Halo's not even out yet. And then Halo Master Chief Collection had a disappointing launch. I don't know if it works now. From my understanding, it's still buggy, but I don't know because I don't play it, right? So we have Forza. That's one game. Okay. We have Rise that was disappointing.
You were asking me a Drive Club question. Are we off of Drive Club?
No,
okay, no. Let me answer Drive Club. I've been waiting to answer Drive Club, but you asked something else. Drive Club.
Can you make it a concise answer, though?
I'm going to be precision in what I'm talking about with Drive Club. Mm-hmm. Okay? My driving lineage goes way back.
No. We don't need your history.
You're not. I'm not going to give you my history. Okay. But where I'm going with Drive Club, you have to announce history.
You're not gonna give me history, but you got to give me history.
I'm at. Is it my turn? Do I have the floor, Charles?
Not for the next few hours because
I'm gonna be quick.
Okay, quick. Go ahead.
Drive Club, Charles. We're in 2014 with Drive Club. Now you said 3 months prior to launch, Drive Club said, "Oh, we're not gonna be 1080p 60. We couldn't reach it." That's garbage.
Okay.
Let's dial it back all the way to pre-launch, Charles, when Drive Club was bashing the death out of Halo, out of Forza 5. It was killing it. Everybody in the forums, including the people on the co-op and that other podcast, hey, Drive Club is going to be 1080p 60.
Are you talking to me or are you talking to them?
I'm talking to everyone, and I'm including you. Here's why I'm addressing you, Charles, because you said 3 months prior. Forget 3 months prior to launch, Charles. That's a cop-out garbage. Okay, let's
explain to me how.
Here's how, Charles. I'm getting to it. Let's go. When did this garbage launch? In October of 14. Well, in October of 13, Charles, everyone was talking up Drive Club in 1080p 60 weather. It's all of this. Ford only has 200 cars. That's garbage. I listened to this nonsense all the while. Forza, Charles, I'm going off a video. Do you remember the videos they had of Drive Club where they had people's faces, pictures of them on the back of cars? You remember that garbage? Well, I told one of my boys back in October, I said, this game is going to get delayed. You never see any other cars on the course with Drive Club. I said, this garbage is going to get delayed. I told him that. And sure enough, a few weeks later, they delayed Drive Club. Okay? They delayed Drive Club. Hold on. No, Charles. No. Go ahead. I'm going to finish Drive Club.
I remember.
You're not slipping out of this here.
I'm staying on topic, brother.
Okay, it's strictly Drive Club here.
Yeah, this is strictly Drive Club. I remember when people were talking about no cars being on the tracks with Drive Club.
Yeah,
And I
that
also
was me.
remember when that was debunked because people just didn't count another trailer that did have cars in that in their trailer.
I scoured
You
the
just say
internet,
you
Charles.
play-
I could not find A, B, or C car on that track. That guy was racing over there with ghost cars. It was ghost cars, Charles. That was me. I got banned from N4G and that bum-ass site because I would not let those bums start talking. Oh, I'm talking about ghost cars. These clowns had ghost cars on the track. And meanwhile, Ford's is burning it up, but everybody was crapping on them. So why did they say back then, hey man, we can't reach 1080p? Why didn't the guys at Drive Club say, hey man, otherZinc is right. We don't have any cars on the track. And then they delayed the game an entire year, Charles. And then 3 months prior to launch, they say, oh, we can't reach 1080p 60. We're going to launch without weather. Hey Charles, how about this? How about this? The most powerful console on the planet. Okay, that is extreme sarcasm, Charles. How about this? How about these guys? Here, no, Charles. Let me finish this. I'm on Drive Club now. Okay. The PS4, GDDR5, this game. Hey, we're gonna make games without limit, Charles. That's what they were feeding us. That's the line of hype they're feeding us. Okay. Now all of a sudden, you get to Drive Club, and there's a leaf or a weed that will smack your car back onto the track. Charles, you're driving around in a linear driving game with invisible walls. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? In 2014, you delayed this game 1 solid year, and now you have invisible walls? Are you kidding? How do you explain that, Charles? I'll wait for your answer. Hey Charles, you know what Drive Club is? Drive Club is Knight Rider. I know you didn't play it. Okay, it's a Knight Rider on steroids. That's what it is. It's no different than Knight Rider. That's all it is. You have invisible walls, Charles. This game is no better than pole position. And then they say one of the features is, oh, you're going to compete against times. They've been doing that since pole position, Charles. We put all our quarters lining the glass of the arcade competing against times, Charles. That's what Drive Club did. And then also, let me give you a bonus of Drive Club. No, first answer, why does a game in 2014, Charles, have invisible walls and you're a racing game?
Is that the bonus?
No, I wanted you to answer that first before you say I'm all over the place, because I have another one that's also. You see, Charles, I'm not talking about the online play because I really don't care. Okay, because as great as I am playing Forza, hey man, I won 1 race in my Forza career, and that's because this dumbass jumped over this big ass hill. And his car rolled over, and I drove right past him in Forza Horizon. That's my first online victory ever. Okay? So I really don't care about the online. Though it's important, it's critical. But I'm not going to bring that up. Let's talk about Drive Club, the game. And why in the world does Drive Club have invisible walls in 2014? Answer that.
I don't know. I didn't develop it.
Oh, Charles, come on, man. We're not going to go there, are we? None of us are developers. What we are, we're consumers of goods and services. We buy these things, okay? I bought 2 360s, 2 Xbox Ones, 3 360s, about to buy a 3rd Xbox One with the Kinect that so many people say, oh, Microsoft gave up on the Kinect. No, they didn't.
Can I point out something?
Let's stick with Drive Club, Charles. You said you're not a developer, but you believe that everything was going to be 1080p 60.
You're going in circles about things that I already addressed. So I got to the point. Let me finish. I got to the point where they said that they
No, Charles, hold on, man. Hold on, Charles. No, Charles, you didn't let me finish. Did you answer that question?
I haven't talked.
Did you answer that question? Why this game is not 1080p 60 after they said it was?
Everybody heard me answer the question.
You said you're not a developer, Charles. That's not an answer. That's sarcasm.
I don't know. No, I'm not a developer. I don't fucking
Could you
know.
chalk it up as Sony lying?
Sony
or
line.
hyping
Okay,
something
whoa, wait. You said that. Now that just came out of your mouth, Sony line, right?
Could that? Hey, that's
now,
what they told us it was going to be.
With Microsoft, you hold the developers accountable, but with Sony, it's Sony is accountable.
Hey, Charles, that's Microsoft's
it doesn't go both
exclusive.
Ways?
That's their exclusive. If Microsoft, if Forza, Fable, Halo, Gears,
it doesn't go both ways.
If they blow it, it's Microsoft. It's not Forza, Fable, Halo, Gears. It's Microsoft. It's their game. It's their exclusive.
No.
It's theirs.
Okay.
Microsoft is funding this game.
That's psychotic.
No, Charles. That's not my mindset. That's the way it is. That's the way business works, Charles. You own something. You tell them when this damn game is going to come out, and we're going to fund it. And if you fail, we pull your funding. Okay? We're giving you money to make this contest here, Charles. And your answer is you're not a developer. Hey, let's say this.
What did you expect my answer to be?
Here's what I expected your answer to be.
1080p 60 because
here's what I would have said.
Development cycle, they couldn't figure it out. I already addressed this. I've answered it multiple ways.
Here's what I would have said. I would have said they sold us a bill of goods. They sold us some hype that they didn't deliver on. That is what I would have said. That's what I would have said. I wouldn't have said I'm not a developer. None of us are developers, Charles. But you know what? We understand development to a degree. We're going to stay on Drive Club, but you say what you have, because I have more about Drive Club. It's not just online.
To address your statement, we'll repeat it. Your answer to the question of why doesn't it have 60 frames per second is they sold us a box of lies. So
they sold us some garbage.
That game and The Order, 2 games, define
Let's
the
stick with
entire
Drive Club.
console.
We ended, and it don't define. They
sold me a box of lies.
Are we finished? Are we finished with Drive Club? Are we finished with Drive Club?
No, because you keep saying I need to stay on topic. So let's finish this out. So
okay, let's get on Drive Club.
So it didn't get 60 frames per second. I addressed this multiple times. And you keep going back and ringing it back around and making me answer the same damn question.
Okay, I'll ask you a different one. Since everybody knows that you didn't answer anything.
Let's go into this one. First time. I am the one that said that they could not match it. I'm the one that said that.
You said that 3 months prior to the game launching, which was delayed for a year, Charles. But prior to that, they were shitting on Forza.
Okay. How does that counter what I just said? Okay, so people were shitting on Forza. People shit on Forza. Big fucking deal. Charles didn't shit on Forza, so we're not talking about shitting on Forza right now.
We're debating the game.
We can talk about them comparing Forza to Drive Club after the fact, like later on down the line.
They compared it to Forza before the fact.
Can I finish? I'm trying to put you into a logical arena right now because you're going everywhere.
Charles, I'm 100% logical and I'm staying on point. We're addressing Drive Club. You said 3 months prior. 3 months prior is not an excuse because their 3 months prior, Charles, is 3 months prior. Charles, hey Charles, check it out. 3 months prior that you gave is 9 months late. Okay, because they launched the game late. See, I'm going to keep my foot on Sony's lying ass mouth. Okay, because that's what they do.
Regardless of the quality of whatever the game is.
Let's go with the Drive Club quality, Charles. How about that?
On topic.
How about that inline AI that they gave you, Charles? What about that?
Okay, first off, that's a bunch of bullshit because a lot of y'all latched. Wait, let me finish.
Okay.
A lot of y'all latched on to that.
I played that.
Let me finish. Can I finish? Can I talk, please? I have let you talk for like 2 hours now. Can I talk? Okay, so y'all latched on to the inline thing, right?
Like that's my creation. I'm going to patent inline. I invented inline racing by the AI, so let's give that 100% to me.
To clarify, you're talking about the accusation to Drive Club is you patented, right?
I patented inline AI from Drive Club. I said it. That's inline AI. And if you would like to produce a video to show otherwise, because when I play it, that garbage is inline racing. Mm-hmm. Okay? And I'm not even going to say like pole position, because pole position is better than that.
Okay. That was... I'm not even going to address that. That was kind of dumb. But
No, it's not. Pole Position is a much better game than Drive Club, Charles. It's
Okay.
just that one is 20 years older than the other. If they made a modern Pole Position, I'm sure everybody'd rather play Pole Position than Drive Club. How you gonna have a game with invisible walls and inline AI? That's two things. And then they have 50 cars after jumping on Forza having 200.
They don't have 50 now, and they've been releasing some for
they
free.
don't?
But that don't matter. That
Whoa.
doesn't even matter.
Hey, thanks, Charles. I'm glad that a game launched a year late with 50 cars, and now they have a few more cars, so that solves everything. How about this, Charles? Let's stick with
'Cause
Drive
that's
Club.
exactly
Let's stick
what
with
I
Drive
said.
Club, Charles. Check this out.
Mhm.
How about damage meaning absolutely nothing in Drive Club?
Oh, Charles has addressed that also.
I didn't hear that on this site, not on this podcast. Charles, your listeners change all the time. You
Well,
get new listeners all the time.
This ain't a listener situation. I reviewed the game.
No, I'm talking about. Hey, Charles, I review everything. Okay, check this out, Charles.
Okay.
You're gonna have new listeners to your shows every single week. I pump this show up every week while people say, "Hey, man, listen to this podcast." No, man, this is garbage. You listening to this? Okay.
Wayne
Nobody knows. The new people didn't know that Drive Club, the car damages, but nothing happens.
I have to say it every episode.
Nothing happens. Hey, Charles, this is a new show, Charles. This is our first. We've met a long time ago, but this is our first time talking. You have a lot of notes, Charles.
So what you're telling me right now is we're about to go through every single one of these games like people haven't heard of this shit before.
Hey, Charles, man, if you bring up a game, we have to talk about the game. See, Charles, I love racing games. I love them.
So do I.
I have any racing game that's great is sitting here.
We don't need history. Can we?
Okay.
Moderators, can we find a point to stay on?
But
top?
Charles, what you're trying to do, Charles? You're trying to stop me from talking about the deficiencies of this garbage Drive Club.
I'm trying to stop you from talking about anything.
You said people already know about the damage of Drive Club, Charles. What if they don't?
Actually,
now they know. Now they'll be able to save $40.
I said Charles addressed it. Okay.
When did Charles address damage? When did you address damage on this show?
And then you just said, okay, so they can save $40 because of those things, right?
Hey, Charles, when you let's add it up here.
Answer the question.
I'm answering.
Why is it Charles got to answer the question and then you go into a history lesson and
then
we get off topic?
Let's just go on what we talked about. Sticking with Drive Club, you have invisible walls, inline AI, damage that means nothing. This adds up to something that, hey, maybe somebody might want to rethink that in 2014. Because I'm sure I'm not the only one that expects more from the most powerful console in the history of the world. Not my words. Where's Tony Polanco?
Oh. So is it just like Charles is not going to be able to get to his points?
Man, Charles, as far as I'm concerned, Charles is the man. Charles said, hey, come on this show and say what you have to say.
And you did.
All right?
And now, I don't know if I didn't clarify it, but Charles wanted to talk too.
All right, I'm going to let you say until you say, hey, otherZinc, go.
And let me, and I'm gonna have to summarize it because we getting way over the time on this right now.
We just got to Drive Club though.
All right, so we about to sum this up. 1, your criticisms of the game are there, right? For Drive Club. Now I'm not sticking just on Drive Club. We're addressing more than one thing because I only get like a chance to talk every 30 minutes, so I want to get as much out as possible. Okay. So you have your criticisms of Forza, you have your criticisms of not Forza, Drive Club, and the Order. The Order, garbage. Okay, knock it on off the list. Drive Club had issues, not garbage. Because there's other things like, okay, the invisible walls, I had an issue with that. The inline racing, bunch of bullshit to me, especially consider the way the tracks are set up. But, we won't get into those details because I don't know how much of the game you've played. You said you played it. Let me finish. So you say all that BS and that nonsense. The game is still good. The Order is bad. So that's 2 games. And we're talking about Forza on your end. That's 1 game. Now, everything that you've said and done, your comments and everything, you said yourself that we have a box of lies now because of the Order and Drive Club. Did you not say that? Just a simple answer. I don't need a history lesson.
Absolutely.
Did you not say
No,
that?
but you saying it the wrong way. But I did say something towards that. Absolutely, you're correct.
Okay.
But not exactly. But you're correct enough, because Mark Cerny lying in February with that controller announcing the console said how powerful these things were going to be, and Drive Club showed me no power.
So you said
the order
in Drive Club.
The order didn't show me the power
lies.
that he's speaking of.
Okay.
Charles, I just said it. You know.
Okay. I'm reiterating so we can move on from point to point.
All right. Okay.
We can, have some kind of succinct thing for people to understand right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, Box of Lies, based on those 2 games.
Well, it's more games. We could talk about a lot of games. We could bring up Knack. You want to bring up Knack?
No, because it's a terrible game, and I'm not defending. Like here's one of the things that's really really annoying. So I can acknowledge these these terrible games like Knack launch game, didn't care for it. It sucked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The Order, it's seeming like it's going to be looking really shaky for the Order right now. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
It probably still sold enough to get a second one, but that's another conversation for another day.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So. What about the good games, and what makes it like you say? Box of Lies. Xbox has it. Xbox. I'll get to them. Xbox has its lies, but we can move past that. But Sony has its lies, and it's a box of lies.
What lie game does they have? What lie game does Microsoft have?
The lies go into the games. It goes into
what game? Let's be specific.
Now,
what game? What game are you talking about?
Now, before you even accuse me, now you went into the whole semantics thing because you claimed me talking about hardware was semantics, even though you started off with hardware. Okay, which contradicted yourself. That's cool.
No, I don't contradict myself, Charles. If we roll the tape back, you were talking about something totally different. We're not talking about hardware and semantics on my end. What I want to know is what game are you talking about?
Oh, the good ones.
No, what? Let's discuss a game.
You asked what the good. You asked what the good ones were.
Well, tell me, what are they?
Okay, I'll list them off for both of the consoles. If
No.
As a matter of fact,
Sony.
actually,
that's what we're here for.
Actually, I'm actually tired of you dictating it. I'm gonna name both of them. Okay, so PS4, and let me finish. We have, and just AAA because indie don't count. Your rules.
No, man, indie is garbage. No.
Right. Okay.
I can't say it's garbage. It's filler. It's filler games, but it's not something that we spend $500 or $400 on a purchase. Okay, that we don't do that. Okay, but anyway, go ahead. What games are you listing?
Okay, so PS4, just AAA. Infamous, Drive Club, Killzone, MLB The Show, Little Big Planet 3. That's it. Just AAA.
Hey, could I answer?
No, let me finish. Xbox, Sunset, Forza, Killer Instinct, if you want to count it, Dead Rising, Project Spark.
Rise, Forza 5, Forza Horizon 2, Sunset Overdrive.
I meant when Forza Horizon, I meant 2. I apologize for that.
Okay.
Not the first one. And Rise, I'm not counting Rise.
What? How you figure that?
Because we're not counting Order. Now you compared them and said that you didn't even finish. Order, man. You didn't even finish Rise.
No. Of course I didn't. I didn't finish Rise. No, I didn't finish Rise. But I played enough of that game. But you have to count it. It's supposed to be a AAA game, as is. No.
We're not talking about what's supposed to be AAA. We're talking about what's good
the
AAA.
Order.
We're talking about what's good AAA.
Oh, a good.
That
was man, Rise was good. Rise was good, man. Rise was a good game. Rise was a good game.
Okay.
Hey, Charles, could we go back to Infamous?
No, we can't because I'm tired of you dictating it and sending it where you're going.
I thought this was a versus, Charles. You brought up Infamous. Hold on. Hey, Rich, where's Rich at? Rich, I can't talk. I can't talk on Infamous. Rich, you the moderator, right? Wake up, Rich.
I think they may have left because you've been talking this whole time.
No, well, when you rewind the tape, good. I'm glad Tony needs to come back on the show. Somebody call Tony. Hey, Rich, you still there?
I've been here.
Could I answer Infamous?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. But keep it
Okay.
brief. 'Cause I want
Okay.
Tony
All
to
right. I'll do one thing, and this going back, and everything that I'm relating to is what we started. We started talking about Mark Cerny and his terrible ass shirt, okay, and announcing a console but show the control. All right. Infamous. Let's get back to this power, this GDDR5. That's
What the
so here. I'm getting to it. The Infamous. I want you to turn your Infamous on, okay? And I want you to go up to a window. You know how Infamous guy just hops up a window, okay, up a building. Look in that window, okay? And it's going to show you, and I want you to first, before you look into the window of the Infamous, okay, of whatever window you choose, look back and see what it should be a reflection of, okay? It'll be a building back there or something. And when you look at the reflection, it's totally something else. It's like some damn industrial park or something.
Okay.
I'm like, what kind of power is this? And then
Okay.
the Infamous, they say it's an open world. Okay, it's an open world with nothing in it. Then you have Infamous. This dude, he act like he's fighting on the streets of Los Angeles or something, and this joker come down with this huge, big super punch, and a guy just wobbles. Then Infamous guy is fighting with a
What?
chain. Here, hey man, that super punch. This guy can walk away from it. That's a big punch. Okay, but let's forget that punch. Let's go to something more specific. Let's talk about the power of GDDR5 that's in the PlayStation that's not being used. He'll be smashing this car. There's not a scratch on the car. It would smack a car and see what happens. You're going to see no damage. None. And then the car eventually explodes. That's garbage. How about the enemy AI on Infamous? It is so terrible. Okay? Portions of the game look fantastic, but it's portions of the game. And then you want to talk about the technical wizardry of GDDR5 and Mark Cerny's terrible shirt. And here you look behind you and it's a building. And then when you look at the reflection, it's a McDonald's or a Pizza Hut or a gas station or something. But whatever you see in that reflection, it damn sure ain't the building that's actually behind you. See, people want to talk about how detailed the games are. I don't see a damn bit of detail in nothing yet. Okay? See, this is my industry that I coveted. Okay? And these jokers are making a mockery of it. They sold some hype. You wanted to talk Infamous? Hey, man, I could talk about all of these games because I play games. And I cannot wait to play The Order. So my suspicions can be realized.
I'd much rather you not talk about games.
Oh, yeah,
especially not all of them because you talk too much about
I bet you
nothing.
won't look in that window. I bet you won't look in that window of the Infamous so you can see that McDonald's back there.
You know what? Play your game. Look in the window. It's a bad reflection. What about the rest of the game?
Hey,
I told you it's a world with nothing in it.
What about the rest of the game? What about the gameplay? What about the fighting? What about the story?
I already told you.
What about
it's
the particle
terrible.
effects? What about the lighting
The
effects?
particle effects are horrendous.
You are alone.
No, I'm not alone. No, I'm not. Hey, when that one like walkway bridge blows up, man, that's terrible. That's the worst. How about you can't leave damage on a wall of a building when you firing at it?
Okay.
Man, that's not right in today's day and age. Come on, man. I expect more. Tony said we expect too much. You're right. You're right. I expect.
Who are you even debating with at this point?
No, because I'm just saying, hey, I expect more from games today. I don't expect you to shoot at a wall in Infamous, a supposedly powerful console, and nothing happens.
You just said that you expect too much, and Tony was right.
No. Tony said we expect too much. He said that in the last Throwdown that they just launched today. that we expect too many things from games. You damn right. I do expect. When I pay, and the other foreign guy, Brian, I think his name is, he said we have a right to expect more. You damn right we do. I expect more.
Do you realize, do you understand that I could take, by your logic, I can go into Forza and be like, I hit this wall and it didn't dent it exactly like in real life it fucking
I didn't
would.
say that, Charles.
No.
I don't expect games to do that.
Like you're
I don't
going
expect
into,
games to be
let me
that.
finish. Because you are going, yes you do, when it's
No,
Sony,
I don't.
because
No,
not
give
every
me something.
Not every reflection shows up. If I look at the reflection in cars in Forza, does it accurately show the same visuals of the game in as what I'm saying? Like, this is just stupid nonsense.
No, Charles. No, don't call me stupid. Because if you look in the rear, no, it's not. If you look in the side mirror of Forza, you're gonna see that car that you just passed.
No. I said look in another car's side mirror.
Go look in it. You gonna see a car that's behind it.
Word? You sure? Is it gonna be at the same level of graphics?
You know what?
If I looked at my own?
Oh, you looking in a little bitty side mirror, Charles.
But you know, the way you talking, we expect so much though.
Absolutely.
It should be accurate. It should be accurate. So if it's not, is it not? If it's not accurate, can we just discount the whole game because of that one thing or those two things? Or those,
there are many
those
inaccuracies in them.
Like, do you understand how psychotic you sound when you talk about this stuff?
No. Hey, good. I'm glad you. I'm glad you digging into psychology. Let's get there.
I played Uncharted and stepped.
No, we're on Infamous. We're on Infamous.
No, we're not, because
Uncharted is not on PS4.
I stepped in mud in Uncharted and it didn't leave a shoe print. Do you realize how disappointing that is?
That's on the PS3. On the PS4, when he stands under the waterfall, he gets wet.
Right?
And when he stands under a waterfall, he gets wet.
When he gets shot, the bullets, like, is it bullets? Is the bullet holes like wounds? Like, does it come out the back and everything?
Yeah, there you go like, with the semantics. You know they're not gonna die, Charles, because if they die, then we can't play the game. But Charles, do you understand this? No.
Do you understand that I am copying you and you're arguing semantics?
Well, good. Now let me answer you.
Do you understand how hilarious that is right now?
Okay, well, I'm going to show you just how hilarious it is. Since you don't have a 360, if you turn on Halo, you'll see that bullet hole going to stay its ass in that damn wall. Okay?
Is that a fact?
That's a fact. If you play great games, you expect great things. See, people that play Infamous, they don't expect for a hole to be in that wall.
When you threw a grenade at that wall, did that wall crumble? Or is Halo not that type of game that it had?
Oh, hey, now you're talking about destruction. Now you're talking about more power. But since you want to talk about destructibility, why is it's 2015 now? But hey, you know what? Halo did have elements of destruction. If you blew a Banshee out of the air, parts of it could come down and kill you. If you blew a cone up in multiplayer, that cone could hit someone else in the head and kill them, Charles.
But you ain't asking me about that wall though.
Some parts of it is destructible.
No.
There are no games that have Charles. There are no games that have complete destructible environments. Okay, nothing is that powerful yet. But you could give me bullet holes in Charles. You could give me bullet holes in walls because we did it last generation. Okay. You can give me that, but I don't ask for the world.
In other games,
those are pre-destroyed, and then you can shoot another. Like let's go with Killzone 2. Yeah, in Killzone, for a perfect example, Killzone 2, you can blow this building up right here with the rocket. But the building right next to it, you can't blow that building up.
I guess that building.
But I'm not even going to go that deep with it because I know the consoles are not that powerful.
So if you pre-destroy it, why didn't Halo pre-destroy their walls? It's like
because you can
2014 and 2013
Halo,
and shit.
Hey partner. Halo isn't out yet, but I'll guarantee you this: when they shoot at a wall,
no, Battlefield 3 was doing that. Battlefield 3 was doing that. We're not talking about 2015, 2014 Battlefield.
Okay.
Like, what? Do you understand how stupid those comparisons are?
Charles, no. The reason you think they're stupid, Charles, is because you don't hear what the hell I'm saying. Okay, so you might as well stop talking about. No, Charles, you bullshitting right now. That's what you're
Am
doing.
I?
Okay?
Okay.
Because let's be specific. Battlefield is the only game that's going to give you pre-rendered, destructible, whatever.
Only
okay?
one.
That's it. Well, others are not going to do it, Charles. See, if you were playing good games for a long time, you would know this. But you don't play good games, so you don't know that.
I play bad.
So you might as well stop calling people dumb, because dumb, I'm damn sure not.
No one called you dumb.
And I know exactly what.
Argument.
No, I'm not. Because you have. I understand your point, Charles, because you haven't played games like I've played. Okay. Now, when I'm talking about Infamous should leave a bullet hole in that wall, it should stay there, or you should burn it there. Infamous, dude, is garbage. It's garbage. And Drive Club. You run into invisible walls.
Yeah,
see,
invisible walls.
What game shows the power of the PS4 in this GDDR5? What game shows me that when Mark Cerny came up there with that ugly ass shirt? What game shows the power of that GDDR5?
We just switched topics.
No, no, we didn't switch topics, Charles, because now we're talking about destructible environments. I'm talking about how they are supposed to have it. At least show me some car damage when the Infamous guy is striking this vehicle. Show it to me. Where is it? Where is it? Why is that? Why do you continuously beat on a car, Charles, and nothing happens, then it explodes all of a sudden? What kind of garbage is that?
I don't know. That's strange.
Yeah, you don't know. Well, I tell you what, one thing, you ask me a question, I'm damn sure not going to say I don't know. Now, I can guarantee you that. Not going to say I don't know, Charles.
Is that a
you
fact?
can bank that. That's a fact. You won't hear I don't, because, hey, Charles, I've been around this game too long. And I know garbage long before I see it. That's why I disagree with Rich. I don't have to put my hands on a game. I watch for certain things in games because I've been watching this garbage since the 70s. When you can sit down and play some of the garbage we've played, you know when something is some garbage, and you know when it's not some garbage.
Okay.
Hey, I'd like to jump in here for a quick second, if I may.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Where is Tony Polanco?
Hey, you don't get to request him right now. Rich, please say what you were saying.
Yeah, I actually wanted to know if Tony was here, if he had something to say. I think we got a little all over.
He may have fallen asleep on us.
Is Tony still up? Do you have something to say, Tony?
If I say something, will it even work? Because, like, otherZinc, you're, like, cutting Charles off for the whole time. You're not letting my man get a word in edgewise. You keep cutting him off. If I start saying shit, you're going to do the same thing. So what the fuck's the point?
No, it's not. Because see, Charles, he'll say something, and he won't let me answer it, and I don't want him to pull what he pulled on my boy Gary. I'm about to go over the way. Hey, Tony. Hey, well, ask your question and then say, hey, otherZinc, go ahead and what's your rebuttal to that?
I got some.
Well, your statement. Just could I reply to your statement?
Yes.
You know what? How about this? I will summarize. I'll do this real quick because you said you were going to defend Gary because we need to close this out. I'll give you the statements that Gary made about Microsoft in favor of them, and you can answer them, and we'll go from there. Okay? Okay. Was that okay with you?
This is y'all's show, man. I'm just happy to be in here.
Hey, man, this is your show tonight, dog.
Man, I'm fired up.
But look,
this is the highlight of my life right here.
All right, so statement number one, Gary Swaby. There's been one great Sony exclusive. No, I'm sorry. He said one good. There's been one good Sony exclusive on PS4. That's his statement. Because we were talking about unsubstantiated
which game is it?
Made. It's not fucking one game. That's my argument. My argument
he said it's not one game.
No, he said there's only been one game.
Okay, what is that game?
I think he said Infamous Second Son. So, would you please address that unsubstantiated statement, please?
Come on now. I just said if you look into a reflection, you're going to see a McDonald's back there.
No, the argument is
I disagree.
It's not one.
It's not. Infamous is not a great game. Man, that game ain't great. Look, the world it's an open world. It's not unsubstantiated. I'm about to give it some substance. Unsubstantiated, I'm giving it substance.
Okay, go ahead.
The reflections are garbage. The enemy AI is.
Before you get deep into that, so your
See,
argument
see
is
how he cut me off, Tony? You see how he cut me off, Tony?
Because you said that already. Because you said that already.
You said Infamous is bad.
Oh, all right.
Wait.
Okay.
Infamous
all
is
right.
bad.
So I disagree with
Could you
Gary
answer-
because that's not the good game.
Okay, so what is the one good game? There's only one.
The only game, and people, I'm the only one of my friends that beat all three Killzone games. I'd say Killzone was decent.
Okay.
But it wasn't as good as they say. It was decent. Okay? It was a decent game,
So your
and
answer is
that's the
Killzone.
only one. Is
The-
Killzone. And that's stretching it. Because it didn't have campaign co-op. They said it was going to be open, and it wasn't. I don't know how they got fog all over the place. They said it was 1080p. It
They're
wasn't.
going off on a tangent.
Well, that's why it's not a great game.
And
I
you're
just
arguing
told you.
with
That's not a
yourself.
tangent. That's accurate.
You chose the game, and you're arguing with yourself about choosing the game.
No, but I'm saying why it's not a good. It's just a good game. It's not great. Okay?
So I clarified.
and that's stretching it. But I could still tell you what's
that.
wrong with the game.
We don't
okay?
need you to go into what's wrong with the game.
Oh, but hey, I like to be clear what I'm saying, so there's no
Quite
assumptions.
Not clear this whole time, but okay.
Oh,
So there's
yeah, really.
the unsubstantiated part because you're focusing on the wrong thing. So he said
Oh.
there's been one good game on Sony exclusive PS4. The counter to that is that there's been more than one good game. Now, unsubstantiated, you realize what it means.
Hey, what's the other good game? What's the good games then? Since he's so wrong.
Infamous is good. Drive Club is good. Killzone is good. The Show is good. Little Big Planet 3 is good.
The Order is good.
Well, now, hey, we're staying away from that right now.
No, we're not, because I played this shit. I played it for 10 hours. All that shit you've been saying, otherZinc, is wrong, bro.
Okay,
I'm telling you.
So y'all, Gary, that's your boy. That's your road dog. Now, he said that. One game. So what, does it become subjective then what's a good game and you get to decide that? Or is it Sony hatred that's unfounded in any facts? Because let's be realistic, if a console had one good game on it, exclusive, would it be selling as well as it is? Yes or no?
Is it my turn?
I asked a question.
Okay, now.
Answer the question though, and I'm gonna get right back to where I was going.
It all depends. It's because it's obvious that the PlayStation is not selling because of its exclusives. The PlayStation is selling because they jumped out with the better ports. They jumped with some better ports. They jumped out with the GDDR5 statement, Microsoft's collapse in their wording, people taking a lot of words and turning them, and they're having more 1080p games up front. The word was out.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about why the PlayStation is selling. It's not selling because of Killzone, Infamous, Knack, Little Big Planet 3, or Drive Club. That's not why the PlayStation is selling. Which games did you just I named all of those PlayStation games.
No, you didn't. You named
yes, I did.
Say it again.
It's not selling because of their exclusives. It's not selling because of Knack. It's not selling because of Killzone. It's not selling because of Infamous. It's not selling because of MLB. It's not selling because of Drive Club. It's not selling because of Little Big Planet. Sony does not have one game that would garner the attention of masses. That game will be coming out.
Do you mean yet or at all?
Yet. That game will be Uncharted. That's their only one. And Uncharted has gotten its ass colossally whooped by Gears. That's the one it's been competing against all this time. Now some of you, Tony Polanco included, wants to vault Uncharted to compete with Halo. That is suicide, Tony. It's suicide. All right?
If you look at the numbers, it's not suicide.
Here, let me address your numbers, Tony. Let me address your numbers.
No.
I'm going to have to address his numbers.
You had a question to answer. Are you done answering that question?
Yeah. Is that elaborate enough, though?
Yes.
It's a little bit too elaborate.
Yes.
Okay. Hey, I'm thorough, man. I like you to understand what I'm talking about.
Okay. So they don't the exclusives for Sony. They don't buy the console for that, right? That's your statement.
They haven't. Nope.
Okay, but they're buying Xboxes are being sold because of their exclusives.
A lot of them, yes.
A lot of them are being sold because of their exclusives.
Yeah, and the online is unmatched. No matter what y'all want to say.
How is that substantiated when the bigger sellers on the Xbox are not exclusive?
The bigger sellers, of course, the big ones haven't come. The biggest seller.
No. The current. We're talking about actual.
The biggest seller, actual right now. Forza outsold everything. Okay, Forza outsold everything. And while you over there talking, no game. You said that, and I've been waiting on this because it's been killing me. Everyone, Rich included, said Titanfall was a flop. Titanfall sold over.
How did you just made me go to that point? I didn't mention Titanfall.
I said Rich. You're Charles.
Yeah, and you're talking to Charles.
But Rich is on the show.
Yes.
He's a mediator.
This is the man. Rich is great.
The show says
Rich is up there with
CSJR versus otherZinc.
But you know what? Look, we on the show.
You're not staying on task at all.
This is on the show. Okay, but Titanfall.
Right, just run it how you want to run
so great. Okay, Titanfall so great. Now, but you know what? See, Titanfall was a game I paid $60 for.
Sorry.
And it was great for what it was, a multiplayer. But you know what? I played that game the day I bought it. And the second time I played it was, I think it was in November when they released that Horde mode like feature. And then I never played it again after that. I will never buy an online only game again. Ever. Never. I don't care. If Halo came out online only, I'd think about it because it's Halo. But I'd leave that mug right there in the store. Nobody will ever get my money for no nonsense like that ever again. That's my one thing that I couldn't stand that Microsoft did, and that's Microsoft, not Respawn. Microsoft funded that project.
But
that burned my heart.
Held responsible, though.
What'd you say?
Said, but the developers are not held responsible.
Oh, Microsoft funded it.
That's cool.
So developers are there. Of course,
in your mind. I'm sorry.
Of course, the developers. It's their part of their fault. But Microsoft funded this and let this go.
Are you gonna rewind your way back to the point and what we were just talking about?
I have a question. How many more points need to be made tonight?
Shoot,
I'm still waiting on Tony Polanco.
So he came on the show to battle me, but been waiting on Tony. So that's why he ain't been talking to me.
Tony showed up.
We just got to the root of the problem.
Hold on.
Right
Hey, Tony. Hey.
You want to debate me? He don't want to debate you.
Hey, Charles. Hey, Charles. Hold on. I thought you and I were just gonna be on here, but you brought your boys. I wish I would have brought a couple of my boys.
They hadn't even been able to add an opinion in on purpose because it's me versus
you. You're doing a terrible job of mediating.
You're arguing that I brought my friends when you're the one trying to make them a part of the conversation. That sums up how your whole thing has been. They showed up because I'm sorry, wait, let me think. They worked for the Koalition and they wanted to be a part of it. They are the moderators. They are the mediators for this.
Oh, technically, okay. I got called out before I even joined the show, so I just put it out.
Yeah, you did say something about him then. Like, you haven't sit here and talked to me. Like, I asked you a question, told you to get to the point. Somehow, we ended up talking about something that had nothing related to it.
No, Charles, I've answered every single one of your questions, Charles. I answered every single one of your questions. All of them. And then when Charles, when
PlayStation 4.
Say that again?
Are there good exclusives on PlayStation 4? I feel like I got to simplify the question.
I answered that. No. What did I say? If you rewind this show, I said the only one that's decent. Thank you. I answered it. It was Killzone.
And you're wrong. That's based on what?
Okay. No. Okay.
Like, what is it based on? Reviews?
That's based off of my opinion. That's based off of my opinion. And you know what? I really don't give a damn about reviews because those assholes haven't played more games than me. So I really don't care. Hey man, look, I know games, and I know games better than most. I've been playing all of these indie games that y'all. All of these.
You gonna tell everybody about them?
No, I'm telling you details about the game that you think is great. Drive Club is garbage.
I said Drive Club was good. I never said it
Well,
was great.
okay, why is Drive Club good? Why is
oh,
Drive Club good?
Oh, I have a question. Okay, because the driving is good, the racing is good, the
Driving
multiplayer
is
is good,
terrible, the racing
the
is
graphics
terrible.
are good, the weather is
The
good.
graphics is good. The weather is good after they added it.
So, all right,
Go
so
ahead.
you don't care about other opinions, but you counter
I'm
my
agreeing
opinion
with those
with your
two.
opinion.
I
No, but
agree with those two.
you're countering my opinion with your opinion. What is the point right now? What are we talking about? Because my rules
I
don't
asked you
apply
what
to
made
you,
Drive
but
Club good.
your rules apply to everything.
I asked you what made Drive Club good.
And I told you.
Okay. All right, and I disagree with that.
All right.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
That's perfectly fine.
But I gave you a good reason why I didn't like Drive Club, though. A very good reason why I didn't like several.
You gave a couple, and you completely just
No,
ignored
three.
the other.
It was three.
You know when you weigh something that you're weighing the good and the bad. The bad doesn't make the good disappear and
Charles,
like
the driving and Drive Club is not that good, dude.
It actually is really good.
No, it is not.
You have a racing history. You really want it to be bad.
I have a racing lineage, Charles.
That's
not
cool.
a racing
all
history.
The way back to pole position last I checked.
No. Knight Rider was before pole position.
No, it
Charles.
was before that. Okay.
Yeah, actually, it started with Indy 500 and those paddles with the Atari.
That's the only racing game I've ever played, man.
What?
Drive Club. That's the only one I've ever played.
Hey, man, I think so.
Yeah.
Hey, where's Tony Polanco, man? We've been dancing around the same thing. Where's Tony at? Tony, what did you?
I'm right here, man.
What did you like about the Order 1886? Tony Polanco.
All right, and you're gonna just smash all this shit down, but fuck it. I like the story. I like the setting. I like the combat controls. I like the mix of QTA and third person, and I like the way it didn't have any fucking filler in it. And it was not 5 hours. That's a lie. It took me 10 hours to beat the shit, and I was thoroughly impressed by it. That's what I liked about it.
There you go.
That's good. I'm glad you got your $60 worth.
Damn right I did.
I'd like to make a statement.
Go ahead.
I know we were talking about driving, so I would like to race to the finish line on this particular show at some point.
Yeah, because we've been going on for too long with no real reason.
All right, I only got one last question and I'm done.
I have one last question also.
Okay.
Would you like to go first?
You go first since you say I talk too much.
Okay. This is all I got to ask. All right. As a gamer, me, why should I remotely value the opinion of you, who disregarded Spec Ops: The Line because it didn't have campaign co-op?
I didn't only disrespect that game. You know something?
That's your statement.
Listen here, Spec Ops: The Line.
Mm-hmm.
When you have shooters like that, you have to give me more.
What is a shooter like that? A third-person one?
When you have shooters like Spec Ops, you have to give me more.
Like, are you saying like a third-person shooter? Is that what you're saying?
You have to. Charles, listen.
Oh my goodness, you can't even answer that.
You have to give me more. If you are.
You haven't experienced it. You don't even know. Look. The root of my question: as a gamer, why should I remotely value your opinion of a game that you refuse to play because it doesn't have a feature that you want that was not promised?
Spec Ops: The Line? But when a precedent has been set, you better be up there.
Shut the president's bullshit up.
No, because that's what it's all about. When the bar has been set.
Can you answer the question?
I'm answering it. You better get your ass there. Hey man, look, Spec Ops: The Line is nothing. Is it better than Rainbow Six? Hell no. Is it better than Ghost Recon? Hell no. But you in that same vein of game, Charles.
All right. Have any of them?
I don't play
Let me finish. Have any of them remotely touched the story that Spec Ops had? The story is not the focus of those games.
Hey, Charles. Let me tell you something.
Because it's not going to be on the subject. Let's talk about the subject. Let's stay on point with what we're talking about.
I'll never give Spec Ops: The Line the time of day. Okay.
So I
Oh,
shouldn't value your
we
opinion.
can start and finish it right there. I'll never give it the time of day. I'm going to ask you a question, Charles. Is Spec Ops the line better than Rainbow Six? Any of them?
In what aspect?
As a better story, anything better game than any Rainbow Six game. Hey, a Rainbow Six game on the very first Xbox, the regular Xbox, is it better than any one of them?
Yes. Why are we even talking about that?
Shit. Please. What is the point? Charles, right when you go there with the game like that, I'm not going there because those games are beneath me. Shooters is what I do best. Racing second. I would never address that. What's the next question? I'll let you have Spec Ops Online because you know what, Charles? That
wasn't the question.
Everyone's taste isn't the same. I think Spec Ops The Line is garbage. Okay,
you didn't even play
straight buttery. Why should I play something like that?
But you didn't even play it.
Why would I play that? It
How
has nothing. It has.
How can you say it's garbage if you haven't played it, dude?
How do you know?
Listen, because I've seen enough. Okay,
you haven't seen shit. You gotta play it, man.
I have seen. Look, I have seen enough of Spec Ops The Line.
You are painting the perfect picture of why I really don't give a shit about anything that comes out of your mouth.
Because I don't give a shit about anything that comes out of your mouth because you said Drive Club is a game. Okay, so if you want to play hardcore, Charles, I really don't give a shit about nothing you say because you said Gears. Why is Gears Judgment bad? You said it was whatever you said in the last statements we had. You said Gears Judgment was bad. You said it was a big. You said no. That's right. You said it sucked.
Yes, you want me to
I asked you that 3 times today, and you haven't answered one of them.
No, you did not ask me to answer that question.
Well, hey, I'll guarantee you I'll listen to this again, and I'll show you where I asked. I'll put the numbers down while I ask you. Why was Gears of War Judgment a bad game?
And you answered it, as a matter of fact, now that I think back to it, because you're the one that told us the answer to that question.
I'm asking what you think,
Horde mode
why it was so bad.
Horde mode was gone, which was a staple of it. You said that. I didn't even have to answer that one. The story was disappointing. Right or wrong?
Man, that story was dope. It told you a different side of what happened with the
It's
cop.
whatever, man. It's
What you talking about? And then you know what? Here's one thing I never debate. This is how my gaming acumen kills the shit out of yours. This is one thing that you don't debate about games is story because it's 100% subjective. Talk about play mechanics, something you can accurately judge. Collision detection, artificial intelligence.
I have a question.
All of those things. Those are things that make a good game no matter what the story is, okay? Because that's all. Some people like the Titanic, some people hate it. It's subjective. It's a movie. It's subjective. So your opinion of a story, Charles, it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Don't say Gears Judgment. Did you beat that?
Do you realize the graphics argument?
Did you beat what? The graphics on Gears Judgment were dope.
What if I wanted them to be 2D though?
Hey, you know what?
Hey, Tony, what were you gonna say? Who had another question?
This is with your rationale.
You said 2D, dude. My rationale. I've never said nothing was too damn D. What the hell are you talking about?
Your rationale is that
I never said anything about 2D. 2D stopped a long time ago with Contra.
No, 2D still going on right now, but indie.
That's in fighting games.
Or indie games.
Mario cut that out. Mario and Tomb Raider cut that garbage out.
So story, you don't argue it because it's subjective.
It's subjective. You can't argue what someone's opinion of a story is. That's like saying this girl looks good, and you think she looks good. I may not. I may think she looks good. You may not. That's subjective.
That's vague. That goes for the whole damn game.
That's subjective, man.
So,
that's subjective.
The whole discussion about a game is subjective. Why are you?
No, I didn't say about a game, Charles.
No.
I'm not gonna. No. You're not gonna twist my words. I'm not gonna let that happen.
That's my words,
I
not
said
your words.
Story is subjective. That's what I said. I didn't say a game is subjective. I said a story.
I said this. It's not all about you.
No, but you said I said. We can rewind this, Charles. You're not sucker punching me, man.
Whoa.
What the hell are you talking? I just clarified that I said it, and you're
Okay,
talking
now
about
you
said
say
you put it
that.
in my mouth.
But
I
hey,
just said it for the fourth
I
time.
stop people immediately when they put words into my mouth. Okay?
You assume that they.
No, I didn't assume shit. Assume makes an ass out of you and me. I don't assume anything, Charles. Nothing.
Okay. So
You're the one that's bouncing around.
So I'm trying to ask you a question, and you're bouncing around. So story, does that not change the value of a game in any way whatsoever?
Charles, a story is subjective. You may like
yes
it,
or no?
I may not. It's no yes or no. Charles, hold on. Do you know what subjective means? That means it's just what you believe, dude. It's no yes or no to a bad story. Some people may think it's great. Some people may think it's not. You can't judge that. Some people may say, "Hey, my baby is beautiful." Somebody else may say, "No, it's not." It's subjective, Charles.
Yeah.
You ain't even talking about nothing. No, you're not going nowhere talking about some damn story. You're not going nowhere with that.
I think.
Hey, hold on. Back to Tony.
Oh, no.
Tony, back to the order. So, hey, Tony.
Hour, apparently.
Tony, you finished the order.
Yep.
What are you going to do now?
I'm going to play it again. That's what you do with games.
Okay. What are you going to do different this time, Tony?
I'm going to get the fucking trophy, son.
Okay. What are you going to do different, Tony?
What do you mean different? It's the same fucking game. Every game's the same. What is your point?
No, every game is not the same, Tony.
Dude, most games have the same mechanics. You do the same thing.
Hey, Tony, I'm talking about the same path. You going to go a different way this time?
Of course not. That's a stupid question.
How is that a stupid question, Tony?
Because everyone knows the game is pretty linear. Everyone knows that.
Okay, so you like linearity.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with linearity.
Shit. Look, when I pay, if you like linear games, that's fine. But it's not a stupid question because I expect more. I don't expect the same thing.
That's you. You expect more.
Hey, and you know what? Apparently a lot of other people do too. But you know what? Here's my prediction for the order.
You just put words in my mouth. You don't even like doing that your damn self.
What are you talking about now?
Who are you referencing when you said that apparently other people do?
Hey, Tony likes linear games. Some people like linear games. Some people don't.
That was a real cute way to clear that up.
No, I said, hey, look, I'm not here to tell people to buy the order or to not buy the order.
Actually, you are here to tell people not to buy
it. Hey, you know what? Hey, look, if someone asks me my opinion that I know, I'll tell them exactly what I told you. And they'll thank me for saying, hey, just like the people that.
Let me ask you though, why should they?
I didn't ask you about Drive Club.
Why should people not to buy it? Why should people listen to you, a guy who hasn't played the game, versus a guy who did play the game, me? And
hey, here's why, Tony. Because I saw the whole damn game. I watched as much of the game as I could, and see, that's why I asked you. Hey, Tony, but here's
two totally different things, bro.
Here's one thing. Here's one thing I'm definitely going to do is play the game myself.
Good. Then you can talk
about it. No. I could talk now, Tony, because what I saw that guy doing is. Are the enemies going to act more intelligent than what I saw, Tony?
Who the fuck cares? That's just dumb.
Oh, who cares? Oh man, come on, that's enemy AI. That's damn near the whole game, Tony. And then you get quick time events every time.
And what's wrong with quick time events?
I think they full of shit.
Why?
Especially in this day and age.
I'm answering the question. Why are they full of shit? Quick time events, history, and you're talking about how you're a gaming aficionado. They have their place in history of video games. They've always been there. They're a tried and true method.
Not doing the whole game, Tony, except for Dragon's Lair. Tony,
you haven't even played the game. You know what you're telling me right now? You're telling me
I'm watching the game, Tony. Tony, am I blind?
Yes, you haven't fucking played it.
Hey, Tony, check it out. How many?
This is what you're doing right now. Basically, I'm the guy who goes out with the porn star, right? And I fuck her for real. And you watch her on TV getting fucked, and you're telling me, oh, I fucked her. No, you haven't.
Terrible analogy, Tony. Terrible analogy. Because you know what, Tony? Hey, hold on, no. You can laugh all you want, but here's what the deal is. I would fuck her different than you would fuck her, Tony. Maybe you didn't fuck her good enough. Okay, because you over here playing these garbage games with QuickTime events. Okay, but here's the thing, Tony. Hey, Tony, check it out. What I said was, are you going to play the game differently? And you're going to play the exact same. Tony, one thing that is seeing is believing.
Actually, wait.
Okay?
I will play differently because
here's what I want to ask you, Tony.
I'm going to play a little bit more efficient.
I want to ask you this, Tony. Here's a serious question. Okay.
Though they're all serious, but go ahead.
Are there stages that you could complete in the order with no gameplay?
No, you have to play the fucking game to beat the game. What the hell are you talking about?
Are there not stages where it's all QuickTime events, or you just watching the movie?
There's like one or two episodes that are just cinemas. So what?
All right.
And remember, and here's the thing: you're making a supposition that QuickTime events are not gameplay. If you say that, if you honestly say that, you're full of shit.
No, it's not gameplay, man.
It is gameplay.
Garbage.
It is gameplay. Gameplay.
Okay, that's gameplay to you. I hate QuickTime.
No, it's gameplay to
everyone. Sounds like some subjectivity getting up in here.
It is. Hey, man, that's Tony's game.
That goes both ways.
Here's the thing. You're right. But
you wanted to be one way.
No, here's the thing. When I write suggestions to Microsoft and the games that I like, you can best believe if they try and put a QuickTime event fest in Gears of War, I'm going to be livid. And if you think I'm on the order, I would be all over Microsoft and I would be completely relentless.
Objection, relevance.
Relevance is I can't stand QuickTime events.
Well, that's your problem.
Hey, Charles, I'm not somebody else, okay? I'm always relevant. You are not relevant. Okay, you want to stop me from saying how bad games are when I want to. Oh, people's heard me say that before. No, nobody's heard nothing. They're hearing this for the first time. I'm glad you liked the order, Tony. I'm glad your $64 was well spent.
$60, man.
No, after taxes, buddy. We pay taxes in this country. After your $60,
I bought this shit digitally, bro. I didn't pay taxes. I bought it digitally. What are you talking about?
Okay, well then that's cool. Now you got to keep it.
Yeah, of course. I never resell my. Look at my fucking collection. I don't sell my fucking games anyway. What are you talking about?
Me either. I don't sell them back either. That's cool.
So listen, this has been a very splendid conversation. What I think now is everybody have a last word because it's getting pretty late.
Thank you for listening, otherZinc. That's all I got to say about that.
Man, I'm always going to listen.
Apparently.
I'm always going to be here, without a doubt.
I'd say a last word, but it'd probably get interrupted.
See there?
You're like Gary Swaby, man.
See? What's your last word?
What's my last word?
Because you had a lot of notes.
Here's my last statement right here. At no point in this entire show that has lasted entirely too long did you address your unsubstantiated opinions on games that does not go both ways for both consoles at all. That is my last word.
You didn't even ask me a question. But my opinions are not every time I give you substantiated facts when I talk about
your
Drive Club, when I talk about Drive, and Tony, by the way, you said it took you 10 hours. Digital Foundry gave a running clock, and they beat the game in 6 hours. And
well, good for them. I'm not Digital Foundry. Digital Foundry is full of shit.
Hold on,
because I want to garbage sites like that. Man.
But you know what? That's all we have. That's all we have. Hold on, no. Let me clarify that. That's all we have that'll show us the actual if the game is 1080p and the frames per second that it runs.
You're talking about something else now. You're talking about game like you're talking about this bullshit 1080p stuff.
No, but they ran the game and they showed the game and you said that the game had the guy that beat it in 5 hours did a
speed run.
A speed. Tony, you can't even run in the damn game. What the hell are you talking about?
You can run in the game. I know because
you know damn well.
Tony, you run to a cutscene. Man, come on. Anyway, you run from
you're
cutscene
hilarious
to
because
cutscene.
you're talking like you're an authority on the game, a game
No,
you haven't even fucking played.
Tony, I watched
I
the whole.
saw it.
You can't play it any
I saw
different.
I saw that girl getting fucked on the TV. I fucked her too.
I do it better. I do it better.
Yeah,
I
you
do it
didn't
better.
do it at all.
Yeah, well, I do it better when I meet her. Okay.
Well, guys,
Hold on. Here's what I wanted to ask. Why? Two questions. One, why is it on the Sony games no one can review the game before the game, days before the game launches?
The hell are you talking about?
This is based on what?
Yeah.
You couldn't do it with Drive Club.
That's one.
You
game.
could. Hey, hold on. You couldn't do it with the Order. It came out the day before. These jokers shutting down sites. Hey, another question.
No. Can we answer the first one?
Okay.
Okay. So 2 games weren't able to be reviewed. Thus, Sony games cannot be reviewed before they come out.
Hey man, all we know about the last couple.
Two
That's what I wanted to do. Yeah, Charles, you've been asking so many questions, man. Now here's what. Hey Charles, look. Here's back to Halo: The Master Chief Collection.
For what?
Here's what I wanted to say. I'd like for somebody. Here's why Microsoft didn't run that other beta, because they finally started listening to my post here that I put on this Xbox. Because you know what? The game works. I want to see somebody run a real video of this not working online. And besides it not working online, how about this? How about a game releasing for $60 that has 4 games in it with 5 engines, and 3 of the games running 1080p 60.
But those are ports,
okay?
though.
Hey, here's about your port. They really did a makeover of the games that they wanted to. Like,
because you knew? Is it because you researched it and found that out?
Oh no, because I knew it. If you do small research, you could see the making of it, Charles. You can see the making of Halo 2. And here's what they did with Halo 2, Charles. They put new story in the terminals that's going in line with the new story on Halo 5. They changed a lot in the game.
That's cute.
Okay? And you could say it's cute to be sarcastic all you like.
No, you're still missing. It's cute that you're missing the point. It goes both ways. You are arguing for a game overall ports. We've addressed this before. But it doesn't apply when it's on Sony.
Oh no,
that has been my whole break with you. Hold on. You talked about I keep it both ways. You talked about the difference between MLB on a PS3 and a PS4. Which those differences you didn't know.
Hey, you didn't know them either because you can't see anything. You can't see a damn thing because it's the same. Charles, it's the same exact game. They did not have 2 teams working on MLB The Show. Okay. Now back to you want to see? Hey, Charles. Here's what you can show me. Here's what you could say.
This is the same
Hey Charles, here's how you could close that out.
Don't go both ways.
Put your PS3 show on TV and put PS4 show on TV.
You can Google the screenshot your damn self.
No, and you can flip them back. No, I've seen this, and you flip them back and forth and tell me what the difference is. If you put Halo 2 versus Halo 2, it's a night and day difference.
But it's a port though. Your words.
In a big way.
But it's a port though.
Whether it's a port or not, and I understand that, I agree with that. But I'm talking about how everybody wants to say, especially Tony, Halo, it still doesn't work. No, Tony, the motherfucker works.
No, I'm not the one saying that. Chris is the one saying that.
Tony, I hear you saying on every podcast, Tony, stop.
You don't
stop,
understand.
Tony.
No, listen. Who am I basing off of? Chris, who has the game and he can't play
Tony,
because it doesn't fucking
Tony,
work.
I'm glad you mentioned Chris' name, and I'm pointing to you right now. I'm glad you mentioned Chris' name.